Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. Today's question comes to us from the Judging for the Win Discord. Thanks to Jolrael for this one. Amy uses Jolrael to turn a forest into a 5/5 bird. Then she plays aggressive Biomancy to make 2 copies of this land. What do the tokens look like? What will happen with their ETB fight abilities? Alright, so the first important fact that we'll need to answer this question is that when you copy a creature, you do not copy any counters, enchantments, equipment, or other types of continuous effects acting on that creature. I talked about this in more detail in my video titled, What Do Copy Effects Copy? But as it applies to the scenario we're considering, this means Amy will be putting 2 forest tokens into play. That's it. They won't be blue and green, they won't have flying and haste, they won't even be creatures or have power and toughness. They'll be exactly the same as if you played a realm sketching on a normal, unanimated forest. Well, maybe not exactly the same. The aggressive Biomancy specifies a modification to the copying process. The tokens it creates also have an ability that triggers on ETB that makes them fight something. The forest tokens aggressive Biomancy creates will have this ability, and it will trigger entirely normally. Even though the tokens won't be creatures, the game still treats this creature in the ability's trigger condition as identifying the tokens. Although this ETB ability will trigger and go on the stack normally for each token created, unfortunately, when it goes to resolve, there's going to be a problem. If one of the things instructed to fight is not a creature, then no fight can happen, and neither thing will deal damage or receive damage. Well, that's a bummer, but I guess not totally unexpected. On the plus side, there are a couple of situations that I can think of where this would actually be relevant. First up, one of the steps in putting an ability on the stack is choosing targets. This means that you are able to target your opponent's creatures with the fight ability, even if nothing will happen as that ability resolves. This could be relevant against stuff that cares about being targeted. Another somewhat more interesting scenario could come up if Amy had some way to make the land into a creature before the ETB fight trigger resolved. Now this could happen if Amy had any instant speed way to animate the land. This could even include if Amy had targeted a manland instead of a forest. The game only checks whether both permanents involved in the fight are creatures and what their respective powers are at one time, when the fight ability resolves. If Amy can manage to make that happen, the fight will happen entirely normally too. And that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again next time for another daily ruling. Until then, I hope you have a great day.